And it will be published on the Transfer Center website. So if there's information you want to come back and revisit, you can find it there. And I'm going to start the recording now.
The welcoming environment that Central has for all types of students coming in at any point in their lifetime. One of the greatest things about academics or higher education is that you can, continue your education at any point. And I do want to stress that I am your resource. I can be that person who can definitely guide you through that admissions process into Central Washington University. That can be your application, that can be going over admissions requirements, financial aid, or connecting you to advisors or whomever you need to contact in order to make this as seamless as possible for you, this transition to be as seamless as possible for you. And with that, we'll get the presentation started. Please, at any point, if any of you have any extra pointers to give out during the presentation about any of the university centers, about anything that I may be missing, please speak up and we can make this presentation as informative as possible. All right, and with that, I'm going to share my screen. And can you all see that pretty well?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Okay, so as I said before, I am Alma Castillo, and I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Central. And we always like to sort of start out with the location of, or locations of Central that we have around the state of Washington, and some travel times, just to really stress where we are located, give you that perfect visual as you are thinking about CWU. One of the biggest numbers that you can see here is the size of Central, which is, we have about 12,300 students, which would make us about a mid-sized university with an average class size of 25. And in a couple of minutes, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. And let's get back to that travel time. So we're about an hour and a half from Seattle, unless you are at one of our university centers or you're interested in one of our university centers in the West Side. We are about 3 hours from Spokane and about 4 hours from Portland. We do have 8 locations to serve students around the state. CWU University Centers are located around the state to provide greater access to higher education. Many are co-located on community college campuses. We understand that students have families, jobs, and other commitments that won't, if you are interested in a university center, that's definitely a pathway that we have for you. And we're going to talk a little bit more about where those university centers are located a little bit later in the presentation. And you can see here on the screen exactly where campus is located, right in the center of the state, and then with some like fun things that you can do around the state as well. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the academics. Central's commitment to hands-on learning and discovery and individual attention will take you beyond the limits of the classroom and books. Students get to do what they're studying in real-world professional settings, which makes learning exciting and relevant. And with that, I do like to say, with some of those specific examples of what our students do with different majors that really stresses the real world experience. So for example, if you're a biology major, you'll go out to the river one of the main rivers around Ellensburg and tag bull trout. If you're a geology major, you'll go up to the Cascade Mountains and measure seismic activity. If you're an education major, you really get that hands-on learning experience with being in the classroom and experiencing that a little bit more. Central does offer over more than 135 majors, and we are nationally and regionally distinguished programs in music, geology, paramedicine, physics, and education. And our faculty are recognized regionally and nationally for collegiate teaching in mathematics, physics, geology, music, and chemistry. And these are just a few examples of of some of those distinguished programs and distinguished faculty members as well. All right, and here on the screen, you can also see some of the top majors that we offer at Central. So business, education, music, sciences, and ITAM. And I'll go back and talk a little bit more about education. So CWU is one of the top teacher producing universities in the state of Washington. And we actually began or we were founded in 1891 specifically to prepare teachers. I think that definitely goes hand in hand with really wanting to get that real world experience to our students, and being very focused on making sure that you are on the correct pathway as well. And here are some unique majors that you can see here on the screen as well, with aviation management, paramedicine, actuarial science, construction management. You can see the rest of the list there. And I will point out, with construction management, we actually have a 100% job placement rate, which I really like to point out as I speak to students. All right, so now that you know a little bit more about Central, you know, some of the size, locations, the academics. Let's talk a little bit more about the application process. What are we looking for in your application process? Which application you should be filling out? So if you see here on the screen, one of the biggest questions that students who are looking to transfer have is, which application do I have to fill out? Is it the first year application or is it the transfer application? So this is a really good visual that kind of gives you a little more insight on what or how that works. All right, so if you have less than 40 college level credits, you apply as a transfer first year with less than 40 credits. If you have more than 40 college level credits, you apply as a transfer student. And I know that this probably doesn't make sense right now, but once you open up that application, it will make perfect sense. So if you want, take a picture of this slide, or at the end, I'm going to give my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available for you. So let's talk about the application process. The online application is located on our website. Shouldn't take you more than 20 to 25 minutes to fill out that application. You select which campus you want to attend. There will be a drop-down that will give you all of your options. Then you pay that $60 application fee, or you provide your application fee waiver. If you have that application fee waiver, you just upload it into your application before you submit it. If you have questions about if you qualify for an application fee waiver, again, feel free to contact me. Then you send your official transcript from each college you have attended. And some admission requirements, or actually just what we have listed here, is if you have a 2.5 or higher, and if you have at least 40 college level transferable credits, you are guaranteed admission. So all we would need is that application, and then the transcripts from all of the colleges you have attended. You may have attended 1, 2, or 3, whatever that number is. We do need those transcripts from every college. All right. With some tips to transferring to Central Washington University, CWU does accept a maximum of 135 total transfer credits from regionally accredited four-year schools, including a maximum of 105 credits from regionally accredited community colleges. So here you can see some bullet points, next to icons. So make a feasible academic plan to complete your DTA or your transfer credits. Each of your community colleges or your colleges might have a transfer advisor. Make sure that you're meeting with them. Make sure that you're meeting these credits or these courses that are required to meet the DTA requirements, or always feel free to reach out to me and I can connect you to someone who can also help you with that. Let's see, and we also have the TES, the TESS tool on our website, and that is to kind of give you an idea of how many credits will transfer once you do apply to for admission to Central and you submit your official high school transcripts. You will receive a transfer credit evaluation. In the meantime, though, you can look up your credit equivalencies to CWU and the transfer equivalency system, and I can help if you need it as well. Let's see, and then apply. Of course, you should apply about 1 to 2 quarters before you plan to start at CWU, but you can apply up to a year in advance. So really, it's about knowing what timeline you want. I always say the earlier the better, like that you're not stressing out about having to send in your transcript. Sometimes that takes a little while to kind of gather all of that information that we need. And it also gives you enough time to really plan out Well, also give the registrar services the time that they need to do that transfer equivalency or the transfer evaluation that they need to do. So again, just the earlier the better, and we can set up an appointment. I can help you through that application process as well. Yeah, and of course, make a seamless transition from your previous institution by visiting our transfer center. Our transfer center helps transfer students make a seamless transition from their previous institution to CWU. They provide pre-admission advising, transition support, and assistance establishing the connections to the campus community. It's many resources. So definitely, these are some resources that we have for you. If you have trouble finding any of these resources, again, reach out to me. I'm going to have my contact information at the end. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the transfer centers. Remember I said we have about the university centers. Remember I said a little bit ago that we have 8 different university centers around the state of Washington. So first up is CWU Linwood, which is co-located at the Edmonds College. And you can see some of the degrees offered there on the screen. If you are interested in attending CWU Linwood, the contact information is there as well. Grab a piece of paper and a pen or take a picture of it, take a screenshot of it like that, you have it. But again, I'm your resource. You can always reach out to me. And again, those degrees offered there are listed. So if you are interested in any of those programs, they are there for you. And then of course we have CWU Sammamish, and you can see their contact information as well. And again, if anybody would like to speak up about their center and they're here on the presentation, please feel free to speak up and give us some more information as well. We also have CWU Des Moines, which is co-located at Highline College. And we have a lot of programs located at Des Moines. So definitely look through that. And again, the contact information is listed. CWU JBLM with the degrees offered and the contact information as well.
And
I'm sorry.
Can you tell them what the JBLM stands for?
Oh, I don't quite it's escaping me right now. I'm so sorry.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. It's the Joint Base Lewis McChord.
Yes,
it's the military base.
All right, and then we have CWU Wenatchee, co-located at Wenatchee Valley College, and we have 2 programs offered there, and their contact information listed as well. CWU Moses Lake, co-located at Big Bend College, and we have the degrees offered there and the contact information too. And CWU Yakima, co-located at Yakima Valley College, with programs and contact information on the screen. And I know that Mel has something to say.
Sorry, I had to unmute. I was just chairing CWU Yakima. So if you're interested in CWU, regardless if it's at a center, at our center in Yakima or any of our centers online, or the main campus in Ellensburg, our co-located university centers and sites are here to help and assist you, and we will help connect you to Alma to also.
Thank you, Mel. And of course, one of the biggest questions, always is paying for college. How am I going to fund my education? Central does have resources for you, and this is one of the best bits that I get to say about CWU as well. We are incredibly proud to be one of the best values in education. We are also proud that we award over $17 million in scholarships each year. These vary in merit awards. This can be from Scholarship Central. For those merit awards, there's no separate application required. CWU will use your admissions data to determine eligibility for these awards. With Scholarship Central, I do like to point out that incoming transfer students may apply for hundreds of scholarships by filling out a single application on the Scholarship Central website. Remember, here's a date that you have to keep in mind. The application opens November 1st and closes March 1st for the following academic year. So let's say you are applying for fall of 2021. the application for Scholarship Central opens up this November 1st and will close next March, this coming March 1st. Remember to apply for federal student aid or for Washington State financial aid. CWU has expert counselors in the financial aid office who can answer your questions, and I'm always here for you as well. All right, let's talk a little bit about student life and activities as well. I know that each university center has some student life events that or programming that that keeps their students engaged, and clubs as well. So student life is incredibly important to kind of get acquainted with your peers, with your classmates. And CWU does know that it's incredibly important. So we put on a lot of programming to make sure that we are meeting those needs for you. Right now, most of these are virtual, and some of those are part of transfer week. So make sure that you're looking at the schedule to make sure that you join on some of these. I know that on Monday, you all had Monday Movie Madness, correct? And trivia night tonight? Was it yesterday night tonight? Yeah, so again, it's important to take part of these, to join on some of these events as you're joining us at Central, making sure that you are engaging within your student life. You can see some of them listed here, things such as student jobs. We have student jobs on campus. We were just talking about the size of the university a little bit ago, right? We have about 12,000 students that attend Central, and it takes a lot of human power to sort of to make sure that it runs. So you can get a student job with an academic program, as support, as a student ambassador. Again, just a lot of different opportunities for that. Student clubs are an exciting opportunity for you to enhance your leadership skills, engage in professional development, and network with peers, faculty, and the community. The purpose of clubs is to provide students with opportunities and experiences. And again, these are there for your benefit, for you to engage. We do have over 100 clubs that we offer, and they can be at the university centers or at Central on campus. It kind of depends on what you're looking for. And if you don't see one that is available to you or that has your interest, you definitely do have the ability to start a club. All right, the application for Central is open. So if you would like, after this presentation, you can definitely go onto our website and fill out the application. If you need any assistance with it, let's get connected and I can walk you through it. There are also some important dates here on the screen. Remember, the big date this October was October 1st, which is when FAFSA and WASFA opened. Again, if you need any assistance with that, please let us know. Our financial aid office does have appointments available, or you can reach out to me and we can troubleshoot your application together as well. November 1st, Scholarship Central opens. It has a hard deadline of March 1st. And March 1st is sort of that big priority date, deadline day that seems to sneak up on us every year. So just make sure that you're meeting these dates, these deadlines, like that it's less stressful. You get, more funding for your education and all of that as well. So admissions wants to be accessible to you as much as possible as we are going through this virtual world right now. So definitely take note of those online experiences that we are offering right now. So we do have daily admissions counselor appointments. We have daily virtual campus tours. We have transfer Tuesdays, information sessions. We have fall virtual preview day coming up on October 28th and 29th. There's a lot of programming. Make sure that if you are interested in that you visit our online experiences webpage. And if you are interested in Spanish speaking appointments, yo sí hablo español, podemos hacer una cita para ayudarles con las preguntas que tengan de Central o de la educación que ofrecemos. And again, admissions is here for you. We are your resource. And there's 7 of us located around the state. But you can reach out to me. You can reach out to any one of us, and you're going to get that help that you may need, or just the support that you may need. And as Mel said earlier too, anyone who's here on the Zoom meeting, on this presentation, that is staff or faculty, we're here for you. We want to make sure that we get you through this sort of transition together, and that it's seamless for you as well. And thank you so much. Are there any questions?
Alma, this is Alyssa at CW Moses Lake, and I just wanted to put a plug in that we do offer a bachelor's in education.
You know, as I saw that slide, I made a mental note and I did not say it when it came up. So I apologize about that. But we do offer education at the Moses Lake Center as well.
So during when I was filling out the application, I put a campus but I want to go to the Ellensburg campus now, and how I fix that on my application.
And you would like to attend one of the university centers? Is that what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I chose the Des Moines one, but then I changed my mind that I actually went to the Ellensburg's campus.
Yeah, I can have that changed for you. Why don't you send me a chat privately, and I can do that for you. Just, is that okay? Or how about you email me? That's another option as well.
Okay. I'll write down your email real quick.
All right, here, let me go back, and you can see it right here.
All right. And so I also kind of having trouble getting my high school transcript from my high school with the pandemic and everything like that. Is there something like you guys could send out a request for guys' side so maybe move a little quicker?
Here, I'm having a hard time hearing. It's kind of glitching, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. That might help. Okay, so how many college credits do you have? It might depend on that as well, if we do need your high school transcripts or not for admissions purposes.
I have more than 40.
Okay, and you're not running START?
No.
Okay. We do not need your high school transcripts for admission purposes. You don't have to worry about that. All you have to do is send in your college transcript.
Oh, okay.
And thank you, Roman. Those were really, really good questions.
Okay.
What other kind of questions do you frequently get, Alma?
You know, the biggest one is always, how will my credits transfer? It's when should I apply? How's did you receive my financial aid? You know, things like that, questions like that. And the biggest thing is setting up, and I think an admissions appointment with me to sort of go over those questions a little more in depth is always the best move. Setting up an admissions appointment with me or with one of the support staff from the university centers as well. Like, I think that's setting yourself up for the biggest success as you are going through this transition. And I'll just stress, if you are, if you want to join, you want to start at Central, let's say spring of 2021, the correct time to apply is now. If you are looking at fall of 2021, again, it's now. Like, when you have an inkling of when you want to start, the application's open. It's always better to just get it out of the way. You get in our communication system and we start emailing you and telling you, hey, it's time for you to send in that transcript. It's time for you to apply for Scholarship Central. It's time for you to set up an admissions appointment. Have you reached out to orientation, you know, just things like that that really just keeps you on the correct path.
You know, I got that very question this morning when I was talking to a prospective student. And she was surprised. She said she's graduating in the spring, planning on attending CWU Yakima in the fall, and said, so I wait until I graduate to apply, right? And I said, no, apply now because of the scholarship window, and you know, want to be included in that. So apply now. So she's going to apply on November 1st.
Perfect. Yeah. And Scholarship Central, and also so that you can get that evaluation done of your credits as well, right? Like that you kind of have a more of an idea of how the classes that you've taken are going to come into Central as well. That's always the biggest question, one of the biggest fears. So if you give yourself enough time, you can definitely meet these fears head on, and suddenly they're not so scary anymore because you know the answers.
What kind of things would qualify me for an application fee waiver?
Absolutely, that's a good question. For a transfer student, you can use the NACAC fee waiver, and I'll actually drop it in the chat box. The NACAC fee waiver is very helpful in the sense that you don't really have to get it authorized. This is on your it has some options that you can choose that apply to you. So like, let's say you meet a specific tax bracket, then you just choose that option, and you upload your I believe the first page of your 1040 as well. That's another option, is that you can do that. You can just upload that 1040, that first page of the 1040 in the application. I'm going to stress, because it's always good to know in advance. Do not submit that application without your application fee waiver. Depending on the application that you are filling out, it's hard to get. It's not hard. It's just a couple of steps. It takes a couple of steps to get you back into your application to upload it. So if you think that you are eligible for a fee waiver, just reach out to me. I can provide it to you like that when you are you know, in the process of applying, you have it with you. And I'm gonna drop it into the chat now, and just some other forms of eligibility for that NACAC fee waiver. If the family receives public assistance, if the family lives in federally subsidized public housing, a foster home, or are homeless, or if they are a ward of the state or an orphan. And again, there's a lot of, I mean, there's literally like 7 or 8 different bullets right now on the eligibility fee waiver. Sorry, and I'm just grabbing that right now. All right, and it's there.
So I have a quick question about scholarships.
For sure.
So I'm starting winter just this next quarter, winter. And is it too late to sign up for any scholarships?
Through Scholarship Central, it is late. For you, it would have been like the due date would have been this last, actually for last year would have been February 1st. However, there is a list of running scholarships on our website, on our scholarship office webpage. And I'm gonna grab that link for you, and I'll drop it in the chat box.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
And it's almost the perfect time to start looking for ways to support next year.
Absolutely, Shannon, thank you. Yep.
So I can just start the Scholarship Central for next year also?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on November 1st, you can apply for Scholarship Central every year that you're gonna attend Central.
Okay, awesome, I'll do that next.
questions or anything that I may have missed during the presentation?
All right, well, I'll end the recording and then we can just hang out for a minute just in case.